Keep your focus on God, because God will strengthen you to get through this. He will show you ways how to get out of this. Focus on God to strengthen you. How will He strengthen you? Hi everyone. Today's word is when you feel that the joy of the Lord is the only thing that's keeping you going. Now, there's many times in our lives that we experience times where we just feel that we get up in the morning and the only thing that keeps us going is this joy of the Lord, because the strength of the joy of the Lord is our strength. Right? That joy inside of you is your only strength that keeps you going. It's the only thing that actually makes you get up every morning and say, Lord, I'm doing this for you. Lord, I'm doing this for you. Now, Joseph had, a family and had a loving father, and his brothers hated him. And he was thrown away. He was, sold to as a slave to and imagine how he felt. Imagine how he felt. He lost everything. And he just had to, just do, just every day do what he had to do. Right? He was a slave. Then he was thrown into prison for something that he didn't even do. Right? So imagine how he had to feel. But every day, the joy of the Lord was his strength. Every day he just kept on going, right? Every day he just felt, but Lord, and he just kept on going. And in the end, he was promoted. So that's how we need to be. Yes, it's hard sometimes. Your circumstances is unbearable. And you feel like, your whole life is just falling apart, and the only thing that's actually going right with you is God in your life. Because people don't understand you, family don't understand you. You're just going, Lord, please help me. Lord, please help me. And you're just moving with God's strength every day. Now, I want to encourage you today, keep on doing that. Keep on doing it. Because what happened to Joseph in the end? He got promoted. He got promoted, but he always kept his joy and his strength in the Lord. That is very important. And you keep your focus on God, and you fully rely and trust on God. Amen? Amen. So just two things that I just want to bring to your attention is the world weakens and God strengthens, right? So how does the world weakens, right? The world weakens by weighing you down. It empties you, where you get that empty feeling where you just feel empty. It abuses you. The world abuses you with so much trauma, with so much drama, with so much violence. Right? And the world knocks you down. The world kills you. The enemy wants to kill and destroy. So we need to keep our focus off the world, off our circumstance, or even if it's, it's all these things. And keep your focus on God, because God will strengthen you to get through this. He will show you ways how to get out of this. Focus on God to strengthen you. How will He strengthen you? He will sustain you. In Psalm 55 verse 22 it says, cast your burden on the Lord. He will sustain and uphold you. He tenderly loves and cares and comforts you. 2 Corinthians 1 verse 7 says He tenderly comforts you. John 16:27, the Father tenderly loves you. We know that. He tenderly cares for you. He restores you. Whatever the enemy has taken from you, He restores you. He will restore it. 1 Peter 5 verse 10 says, after your brief suffering, God will restore you and make you strong again. That's what the word says. It's a promise. He will restore you. He embraces you with love. Jeremiah 31 verse 3 says, He loves you with an everlasting love. And love covers everything. Love heals everything. And it makes that emptiness full. And it gives you courage to move on. Right? He nourishes you. John 15 verse 9 says, He nourishes your heart. He's a living oasis that keeps on refreshing and just nourish you every day. Just nourish you with His goodness, with His living Spirit, with His, there where you feel dry, and there where you feel like you cannot, God lifts you up with His nourishment. He lifts it up with His living water. Right? Then He gratifies you. God will supply your every need and He will fully satisfy you. Philippians 4 verse 19. And He gives to you. He gives so much goodness to you. He gives love to you. He gives, and He gives, because God is a loving Father and He wants to give all His goodness to you. Right? Then He teaches us His ways. He teaches us wisdom. He teaches us where to turn to. He teaches us guidance. He teaches us what to do. In Colossians 3 verse 16 says, the wisdom inside of you must flow richly, and we must apply scriptures to our life. That is how He teaches us. That is how He builds strength, because He teaches us in the Word how to do things and how to flow with wisdom through us. By keep on spending time in the Word, then that wisdom will just overflow richly inside of you. And how to solve a problem better way than with God's wisdom. Amen. Amen. And the last thing, He holds you. He holds you and He uplifts you. In Isaiah 41:10. And guess what? In Psalm 104 verse 5 says, God holds everything together. Where you feel in your situation that you feel that everything is broken, everything is in pieces, let God take His hand and just hold everything together, so that you don't lose what God has placed in your hand. Just stand in God's strength today, and let the joy of the Lord be your strength every day, and focus on God's love for you and God's provision for you. Because He will increase. He will provide. He will give you that breakthrough. Just hold on to His strength. Amen. So help us spread the word by liking our YouTube channel, liking our page. This is Elizma from God First GGK, standing for glorifying God's kingdom. Be blessed. Bye-bye.